everybody, welcome to GameReviews411. Today I will be reviewing the 22nd game in the Nancy Drew adventure game series, Trail of the Twister. Now to be quite honest, I expected this game to be bad because it just looked boring and the story didn't sound very interesting. And I was right to some degree, but it actually turned out to be a little bit more fun than I thought. But how does it compare to other adventure games on the market? Well, let's take a look and find out. You head out to Oklahoma to join the Canute College storm tracking team and try to find out what's been going on with some strange occurrences around the team. Apparently they're competing for a $1 million prize, which they win by proving that they're the best storm tracking team in their area. However, their equipment has been malfunctioning, which has resulted in some serious injuries, and it's up to you to find out if this team is just experiencing a string of bad luck, or if someone is sabotaging the team to keep them from winning. Now, although there are virtually no subplots in this game, there are several plot twists that are thrown at you throughout the game. Without these plot twists, the story would have been extremely boring and predictable, so it's a good thing that these were added. And that's the story in a nutshell. So, now that we're done here, let's move on to gameplay. Trail of the Twister is a first-person point-and-click adventure game just like the others in the series. It also has the same interface as some of the more recent games, with an inventory that keeps all the items that you've collected, a journal that keeps all the information you've collected, a checklist which kind of tells you what to do next but is only accessible in the Junior Detective mode, and a cell phone which allows you to call people, and which also doubles as a camera. Although there are only 2 or 3 locations that you can move around and explore thoroughly, you still have to get to them in a town-like setting, which means that you have to drive from place to place. There are 3 cars that you're allowed to use in this game, and it's actually very easy to drive them. It's very hard to wreck them because you can just knock into cars all you want, and nothing will happen unless you do it very frequently. Another feature of this game is the monetary system that is used. It's called paw pennies, and these can be gained by playing a minigame or by repairing circuit boards, which is a minigame in and of itself. Now, the only things that these can really be used for is buying candy and some other surprise stuff, but there are several points in the game where you're required to have paw pennies, so stack up on them when you get the chance. Now, they're named Paw Pennies after Paul, one of the characters in the game, and that's pretty much the most interesting thing about him. There are 4 other characters in addition to Paul in the game, and all of them, like Paul, are really bland and not exciting like some of the other characters in previous games in the series. Also, the puzzles in this game are very bland and very chore-like at the same time. At some points, it almost seems like you're doing work instead of playing a game. Now, some are thinking puzzles that are really fun to do, but most of them are just going to be boring work-type puzzles that weren't fun at all. If you ever get stuck, on Junior Detective mode, there is a hint system that allows you to call one of your friends and they will give you hints. However, you don't really need this hint system because the game is really rather straightforward and easy to play. Well, I think that about does it for gameplay, so let's move on to graphics and sound. I think that the graphics in this game are fantastic, especially for the twisters, which look amazingly realistic. The 3D backgrounds look really good as well, being some of the best of the series, I think. I can't have such a strong opinion on the background music though, because I'm not sure I'm really qualified to critique it. It's more of a bluegrass country kind of feel, which isn't my thing, but I can't really say that it's bad because it kind of sounds up to par with other bluegrass and country music. So while I really hated the music in this game, I think it just boils down to opinion. Some people will like it, some people won't. Here's a brief sample of some of the music in the game just so you can get a feel of what it's like. I've covered everything for graphics and sound, so let's move on to the overview. Overall, this game wasn't as bad as I thought it would be, and it did have an interesting premise, but it was just way too boring to be a fantastic game. The characters were way too bland, and the puzzles were too chore-like, and I didn't enjoy the music at all. Now, the graphics were fantastic, and the plot twists were there, but I just have to sum up this game with boring. That's just the best word to describe it. I'm giving it a score of a -1, which means bad, and that's it for this review. I hope you guys will come watch some other reviews here on Game Reviews 411.